it's Budget Bunny here, and today's video is going to be Chandler's September cage tour. So Chandler is a long-haired Syrian, and he lives in this DIY cage that my husband and I constructed. And I've talked about this cage in the last couple cage tours I did for him, but I'll just kind of go over it quickly. Basically, we mimicked the rabbit condos that we built. We used the NIC storage grids as the foundation. We used wood base and then just tiled that for the floor because that makes for an easy cleanup. And then what we did, because hamsters are obviously quite a bit smaller than a guinea pig or a rabbit, is we just laid hardware mesh over top of the NIC grids. That way there's no way for Chandler to escape, and it gave him quite a large cage for not a lot of money. This cost us, if we were to buy everything new, probably $60 or $70, which isn't that much when you consider how much money a pet store cage costs. And as well, most of those don't have the space requirements that a hamster needs. So the Hamster Hideout Forum recommends a minimum of 360 square inches of floor space for one hamster. And this bottom floor alone is, I think, around $470. And then I think I'd pick a different number every time I do a cage tour. I'll work it out and I'll just put it across the screen right now. But the bottom level alone well surpasses that minimum, and then he does have a second and third level as well as some hammocks to kind of maximize his space. So let's get on with the cage tour. Alright, so the first thing you may notice from the previous video is that all of his hammocks are the same. Chandler loves going in his hammocks and he loves hanging out with them. If you're on Instagram, you've probably seen a couple photos that I have of him in his hammocks. But he's very, very good not to make a mess in them. Sometimes he'll bring shavings with him. I think honestly that's because of his long coat and they get stuck in them and then he leaves them behind in places. But he's very good not to go to the washroom or anything in them. So if they're not looking worn, then I don't tend to wash them. Probably the next time I change the cage, I will change all the hammocks and everything and throw them in the wash, just, you know, to keep them clean. But I didn't really feel I needed to change them this time. So this level is looking pretty much the same. Chandler's got a corner hammock in the back as well as his corner litter box. Still has his little steps. It's called a walk-up barn, and I never noticed until today actually. It has a little barn on it. I think this might have been a Hagen product, but I can't remember and I don't see a brand on there. But this is perfect for him to get up into his hammock. And it also has a little hidey house there, and sometimes I find he uses that as his little stash of food because he loves to sit right here and wait for me to give him treats. So there's his little hammock there. He's got a Living World Nibblers. I believe these were Willow, and as you can see, he actually really, really likes these and has been chewing on it quite a bit. And in the back there, he also has another wooden chew toy. I believe this one came off of one of those veggie kebabs that you can purchase because it does have the pre-drilled holes in it. And just in the back there, he does have a chinchilla ledge. Now, I've got a couple of these around the cage and I don't actually move them. In order to fit the bolt and nut through the mesh, I actually had to cut like just a couple little pieces just a little larger to fit that. And I don't want to move them and make larger holes all over the cage because I don't want him to think that could be a potential escape route. You'll also notice connecting all three levels of the cage are these Habit Trail Ovo tubes. And I think I've even got some of the older Habit Trail space station tubes. That's originally what we started with years ago with our first hamster, was the habit trail, there was like a safari one, and then there was the space station one. So those silvery ones back there were what those are from. And then these front ones here were from when I had a habit trail Ovo. And they're great to connect all 3 levels. Chandler loves to stash things in them, and they go in a couple different directions for him. On the second level, above the second level of the cage, you will notice a hammy hammock, as well as one of the tunnel hammocks that I make. Chandler loves both of these hammocks. He really likes poking his head out from different places, and it's always kind of an adventure to figure out where that little man is hiding. And in the back there, it's a little hard to see, but he does have this rope and log ladder. This was a parrot toy, but I thought it would be perfect for Chandler, and it also makes it so that he's able to climb on that and then get right into his hammocks from there. And behind that, he does have his one of 2 water bottles. You may have also noticed this wood loofah hanging chew toy, and this chew toy I actually made out of bits and pieces of different toys that had either fallen apart or the pets had grown bored of. So the little loofah pieces are actually the pieces that were left from the hanging mobiles that I had. I absolutely loved those mobiles, and the rabbits did too. They chewed up most of it, but then had left some of the loofah bits. And I've actually noticed that Chandler really likes loofah. He's really been going to town on those pieces. And as well, there's the wooden pieces from Nut Knot Nibbler. Those are the skinny, longer log pieces. And there's also some of the wooden pieces from Veggie Kebab, I think it was. And this in last month's cage tour was actually garland I had hung in the bottom of his cage, and he liked it enough that he had kind of chewed it apart. So I got rid of some of the pieces that he had really demolished and kind of remade the toy, and this time just hung it from the second level of his cage. It's good to reuse things that you've already got. That saves you a lot of money, and it also encourages them to keep playing with things and chew things, because you're constantly changing it around for them and making those toys interesting for them again. If you'd like any more ideas, you can go to BudgetBunny.ca. There's a whole section of DIY toys on there, many which would be appropriate for a hamster as well as guinea pigs and rabbits. And this was actually featured on there, as well as a few other ones that I had come up with from bits and pieces I had left laying around the bunny room. And finally, on this level, I have a woodland getaway. This is Chandler's preferred sleeping spot, although I do find him in different areas around the cage. Sometimes he's in other hidey houses, and sometimes he's just curled up in an open nest. He's got lots of wood shavings to kind of build nests from. So that's, I believe, where little Chandler is today. And he does have his quarter litter box in the back there, and he's so good at using his litter box. I'm really glad that I purchased that for him. And finally, let's have a look at the bottom level of the cage. So again, this area doesn't change too much. He does have the same hammock right here, because again, he's put some shavings in here, but other than that, it's completely clean, so I decided not to change it out this time. In the back, he has his sand bath, which he does actually use, but sometimes it is also used as a litter box, so I do clean it out thoroughly. He has his wheel. I do get a lot of questions about what wheel this is, and I can't remember what it's called. Chocolate Colors 26 actually was the one that told me she remembered this wheel from a few years ago. I don't know that it's one that they carry anymore, but it is a 12-inch wheel, so it's pretty big for Chandler and takes up most of the space here. Then he's got his second water bottle right there. He also has his food dish and just a cardboard tunnel there. Beside his tunnel system, he has this Living World little play area, which I absolutely love. I love the natural products, and I love this one because it's got little areas he can hop up on, little spots he can go into, and I've got a few different ones that are similar to this to put in his cage, so that's the one I use this time. He does have wooden chews throughout the cage, and he's also got this really cute little seesaw right here. I've actually seen him go through it once, which was pretty adorable. He has a grass hidey nest, another one of those Living World, I'm sure they were willow balls, but that one's pink. His little chew dragons right there. He does have another chew toy that I had constructed for him last month, and he hasn't done too much with this one, so I just left it hanging right there. And in the back, he has, sorry it's a little dark guys, but he just has another hidey house, and then in the very back corner there is just another little grass nest. Okay guys, so that is Chandler's September cage tour. You can look forward to another cage tour in a couple weeks because I will be changing up the cages again when I clean, and this will be a monthly thing, so you'll be able to enjoy more cage tours of the pets. And just before I go, I thought that maybe we'd wake up Chandler and say hello to him. Okay, let's see if we can get Chandler to say hello. I have these little, I think they're Rotostack berry drops. They were one of the contest prizes from Stephanie's Pet Care, and I haven't given one to Chandler yet, so let's see what he thinks. Come on. Come on, cutie pie. Oh, here he comes. Oh, there's Chandler. There he is. Here you go, little buddy. Don't bite my hand. There you go. Oh, you are just so cute, Chandler. What a little cutie. Oh, that's it for now. I'm sorry we woke you up. Where are you going? Come here, baby. Oh, you are such a cutie. You're so fluffy. You're so fluffy. Oh, look at all that fluff. Where are you going, little man? Okay, I gotta go rescue a hamster now. Bye, guys. Chandler, come here.